How's it going, everyone? Austin Honecker here. I just wanted to come on here for a while and give him a review for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite Thanksgiving edition from last night, which was November 24th, 2021. I gotta say, it was awesome from start to finish. For the matches, match 1, it was CM Punk versus QT Marshall. That was a great match, but the ending to it, CM Punk went over with the GTS. Well, before the match, MJF came out with a microphone, and MJF was saying, "So, CM Punk, it doesn't feel great to be interrupted, does it? Because last week, you hurt my feelings when I reached out my hand to shake your hand like a gentleman, but you walked off and ignored me." Well, CM Punk, MJF continued to talk more shit towards CM Punk, calling him saying that he respected him for being straight edge, and talking about how CM Punk looks like a meth addict, and was saying that if he had the same face as CM Punk, he would he would need to drown down 8 shots of whiskey and everything, and MJF was talking about. MJF continued to talk more shit and everything, and then CM Punk got on the microphone and was talking shit towards MJF, saying that the reason he never, because where MJF mentioned about CM Punk of who he wants to face in AEW and everything, and MJF wasn't mentioned or anything, and CM Punk was saying, CM Punk got on the microphone and was talking shit towards MJF and was saying, "The reason I never said I wanted to face you in AEW is because I didn't want to feed your rotten little ego." And CM Punk continued to talk more shit and was saying the reason he came to AEW is because he's seen great things with AEW and everything. And then CM Punk insulted MJF, saying that CM Punk was saying to MJF that he was a less famous Miz, WWE superstar The Miz, and MJF got on the microphone and was talking more shit, and MJF was talking about how CM Punk claims he wanted to come back. He came back to wrestling for AEW to work with the younger talent, and also CM Punk claimed to only come back for the money and for a boatload of money, and MJF was talking about how he was going to shorten CM Punk verbally faster than his UFC career and everything, and because MJF was saying that's CM Punk. Well, MJF went on and was saying that talking about how CM Punk took his ball home 7 years ago like a little bitch, and talked about how CM Punk should have, if CM Punk was so passionate about professional wrestling to take his ball, he should have came back, but instead he set his ass at home on the couch, writing comics that nobody wanted to read, or done movies that nobody wanted to watch and everything. And CM Punk was talking about how while he was selling out Madison Square Garden, MJF was marking out to Rosie O'Donnell. And CM Punk was talking about how, was saying, "You want to sing a song for me now, Max?" Well, I seen in the New York Times newspaper that you that you won for that song and dance that you did. Do you want to sing a song for me now, Max? Because next time you're in the New York Times article, it'll be in the obituaries. Because once I'm done with you, because you just entered a college that your parents can't afford, and once I get my hands on you, your ass is grass. And MJF was going on and on about uh, about how CM Punk was second best and everything, uh, and just like the town of Chicago, Illinois, and talked about how in the other company in WWE he was next best to the You Can't See Me Man, which is John Cena, and the King of Kings, which is Triple H, and then talked about how CM Punk has become a kiss ass and everything, and talked about how CM Punk has how CM Punk is no longer CM Punk, he's PG Punk and everything, and talked about how CM Punk is preaching hustle, loyalty, and respect and everything, which is John Cena's quote and everything. But CM Punk was going on and on to MJF saying that, yeah, I'll wear the second best thing like a name badge, because Chicago, Illinois is the second best, is the second city Saints. And unlike you, I'm glad to be here. And the last time I was here, I gave the fans free ice cream bars. But another way to welcome them back, well, and then CM Punk was also saying that that the only way that MJF was claiming to be the best, and he didn't think so, because CM Punk was saying that MJF talks about being the best and everything, and talks about how he's one of the four pillars of AEW and everything, and talked about how he beat Darby Allin without having to use a ring, and talked about MJF not being able to get the job done without the Pinnacle, which are Wardlow, Shawn Spears, Dax Harwood, and Cash Wheeler and everything. But CM Punk mentioned that the last time he was in Chicago, he gave the fans free ice cream bars, but another way to welcome them back was to kick MJF's needle dick right now. And so CM Punk took off his jacket, and MJF took off his suit jacket and everything, and they were getting ready to fight. But MJF left the ring, and CM Punk and MJF stared each other down and everything. That was cool. Match 2, it was the Gun Club, which are Billy and Colton Gunn, versus Bear Country, which are Bear Bronson and Bear Boulder. That was a great match, but the ending to it, the Gun Club went over because Colton Gunn pinned Bear Bronson with the Colt 45. Well, after the match, as Billy and Colton Gunn were celebrating, Austin Gunn came into the ring to celebrate with his dad, Billy Gunn, and his brother, Colton Gunn. Well, Darby Allin's music hit, and Sting came out to Darby Allin's entrance music. Well, Austin Gunn got out of the ring and charged at Sting with the trying to attack him, but Darby Allin came out through the tunnel and clobbered Austin Gunn, laying him out. Then Sting and Darby Allin went to the ring, and as Sting and Darby Allin got in the ring, Billy and Colton Gunn left the ring, and so Sting and Darby Allin stood tall in the ring while Billy and Colton Gunn were outside the ring staring down Sting and Darby Allin. That was cool. That was after the match, by the way. And the CM Punk and MJF promo battle was before the match between CM Punk versus QT Marshall, by the way. Okay. Match 3, it was, yeah. Match 3, it was Thunder Rosa versus Jamie Hayter. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Thunder Rosa, wait, wait a minute. Match 3, it was Thunder Rosa versus Jamie Hayter. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Thunder Rosa went over with a roll-up. That was match 3. That was match 3, by the way. Match 4, it was Bryan Danielson versus Colt Cabana. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Bryan Danielson went over with the LeBell Lock. Well, after the match, Tony Schiavone interviewed Bryan Danielson, and Tony Schiavone brought up to Bryan Danielson that he don't have many friends here in AEW and everything, and then Bryan Danielson got on the microphone, and Bryan Danielson was saying, that's funny because when I debuted here at All Out back in September, here in Chicago, Illinois, the crowd gave you fans, you people gave me a better reaction than this. Now, I did say last week that I was going to kick Colt Cabana's head in. I did just that. And not only that, but I knocked his teeth right down his throat. I knocked his teeth right out. So, next week we will be in Atlanta, Georgia. And I'm hearing that there's some members of the Dark Order that are from Atlanta, Georgia. So, how about I take them on and take the rest of the Dark Order on and kick all their heads in? Well, Hangman Page came out, and, Tony Schiavone got out of the ring, but Hangman Page came out to the ring with a microphone, and Hangman Page was saying, Bryan Danielson, you proved your point. So how about right here, right now, I put my AEW title on the line against you. Bryan Danielson said, well, of course, you want to fight me and put your title on the line after I had a match. Hangman, that's not cowboy shit, that's coward shit. And Hangman Page said, okay, you don't want to fight. Well, I'm not leaving Chicago, Illinois. Well, Chicago, Illinois holds a very special place in my heart. So I'm not going to leave here without a fight. So how about it, Bryan? Since you don't want to fight, since you just had a match, take your first shot. Bryan Danielson said, now don't insult me like that. Well, Bryan Danielson slapped Hangman Page in the face, and then Hangman Page and Bryan Danielson were beating the shit out of each other, punching each other in the face and everything, and then Bryan Danielson threw Hangman Page out of the ring, but Hangman Page was on the rope. Well, Hangman Page was getting ready to execute the buckshot lariat to Bryan Danielson, but Bryan Danielson rolled out of the ring and everything, and Hangman Page stood tall while Bryan Danielson was outside the ring and everything, and they were staring each other down and everything. That was cool. And that was match 4, by the way. And match 5, which was the main event, it was Cody Rhodes and the Death Triangle, which are Pac, Rey Fenix, and Penta El Cerro Miedo versus Andrade El Idolo. Wait a minute. Match 5, which was the main event, it was Cody Rhodes and the Death Triangle, which are Pac, Rey Fenix, and Penta El Cerro Miedo versus Andrade El Idolo, Malachi Black, and FTR, which are Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler, in an 8-man tag team match. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Andrade El Idolo, Malachi Black, and FTR. Wait a minute, hold on. Wait a minute. Match 5, which was the main event. It was Andrade El Idolo, Malachi Black, and FTR, which are Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler, versus Cody Rhodes and the Death Triangle, which are Pac, Rey Fenix, and Penta El Zero Miedo. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Andrade El Idolo, hold on. And match 5, which was the main event, it was Andrade El Idolo, Malachi Black, and FTR, which are Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler, versus Cody Rhodes and the Death Triangle, which are Pac, Rey Fenix, and Penta El Zero Miedo. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Andrade El Idolo, Malachi Black, and FTR went over because Andrade El Idolo pinned Pac with the El Idolo. Now, besides the matches, Tony Schiavone interviewed Christian Cage and the Jurassic Express, which are Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. Wait a minute. But besides the matches, Tony Schiavone interviewed Christian Cage and the Jurassic Express, which are Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. And Tony Schiavone was talking about how last week the Jurassic Express were successful in beating Adam Cole and Bobby Fish, and how Christian Cage and the Jurassic Express have a lot of momentum at the moment and everything. And Jungle Boy was saying, I beat Bobby Fish twice. And Christian Cage said, yeah, you did. Now, Tony, you're right. You are absolutely right, because we have been picking up momentum, and we've been confident in everything we've been doing. And with that confidence, you get good things happen. Good things happen with that confidence. And as you know, Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus are the number 1 ranked tag team in AEW at the moment. And I'm going to do my best, and I'm going to make sure Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus get the AEW tag team titles and everything. And everything. And Luchasaurus done the grunt and everything as well. That was cool. Eddie Kingston cut a promo, because Eddie Kingston was in catering, eating a piece of cake and drinking a cup of coffee, and Eddie Kingston was wishing was talking about Thanksgiving and everything, and wished John Moxley a happy Thanksgiving along with his wife Renee Young and their child and everything. And then Daniel Garcia and 2.0, which are Matt Lee and Jeff Parker, came along, and Matt Lee was talking about how him, Jeff Parker, and Daniel Garcia apologized for interrupting him last week, and talked about how Eddie Kingston was happy and he was full of life, and saw his article in the Tribune newspaper and how it inspired him and everything. And then Eddie Kingston was going off and everything on Matt Lee, and then Jeff Parker was talking shit towards Eddie Kingston as well, pretty much kissing his ass, and then saying that he couldn't help John Moxley and everything. And then Eddie Kingston got all pissed off, and Eddie Kingston got up, and so did Matt Lee, but Eddie Kingston was getting ready to charge at Jeff Parker, but Daniel Garcia splashed that cup of coffee in Eddie Kingston's eyes, and Eddie Kingston was getting ready they were all getting, they were all, well, 2.0, which are Matt Lee and Jeff Parker, and along with Daniel Garcia, were getting ready to gang up on Eddie Kingston, but the security and the coaches and everything, they had to, well, the securities and the coaches had to break up, had to pull them apart and everything, which that was cool. Okay. Adam Cole and Bobby Fish cut a promo, and Adam Cole was talking about how Adam Cole and Bobby Fish cut a promo, and Bobby Fish was talking about how the Young Bucks, which are Matt and Nick Jackson, couldn't compete or aren't medically cleared to compete and everything. And Adam Cole was saying, "Yeah, I know that, Bobby, because I talk to Matt and Nick every day, just like I talk to you every day. But not only are we co-workers, but we're best friends. But you're my best friend, Bobby." And Adam Cole was also saying, "But you know, lately everything's just been pissing me off because Full Gear pissed me off, last week on Dynamite and Rampage pissed me off, and this Friendsgiving thing that my girlfriend, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, is having is pissing me off." And Bobby Fish was trying to calm Adam Cole down and everything, and then the best friends, which are Chuck Taylor, Orange Cassidy, and Wheeler Yuta, came along, and Chuck Taylor was talking shit towards Adam Cole and Bobby Fish, saying that they weren't real best friends, that him, Orange Cassidy, and Wheeler Yuta were real best friends and everything, and talked about how Adam Cole and Bobby Fish walked by him, and Bobby Fish was saying, "Well, Adam Cole and I had a reason to walk off from you idiots." And Adam Cole was saying, Now Chuck Taylor, you all are not really best friends. It's just a name for you all. Because I actually have best friends in Bobby Fish and the Young Bucks. So why don't you just shut your mouth and mind your own business?" And then Orange Cassidy and Wheeler Yuta were coming along, were standing by too, but Bobby Fish was saying, who would have the name Yuta? Like, what's your real name, Yuta? And yeah, because Bobby Fish was pretty much making fun of Wheeler Yuta and everything because of his name, and then Adam Cole was poking fun at Orange Cassidy because of how he is. Well, Orange Cassidy and Wheeler Yuta got in the faces of Adam Cole and Bobby Fish, and so Adam Cole was saying, "All right, Orange Cassidy and Wheeler Yuta, how about soon my best friend Bobby Fish and I kick both your asses," and everything. And then Adam Cole and Bobby Fish left while Chuck Taylor, Orange Cassidy, and Wheeler Yuta just stood there and everything. That was cool. Okay. Tony Schiavone hosted a contract signing between Team Taz, which are Taz, Ricky Starks, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Hook, and Dante Martin, along with Leo Rush. Well, Tony Schiavone was going on about how Team Taz has been scouting Dante Martin and everything, and then Taz was thanking Tony Schiavone for the welcome and everything, and then Taz was saying to Dante Martin, Taz said, "Dante, you're either in or you're out, because we're not playing games anymore." Well, Leo Rush was saying, and then Taz was saying, Taz was saying to Leo Rush, Taz was saying to Dante Martin, was saying, "Dante, you're either in or you're out, because Team Taz is not playing games any longer." And Taz then Taz was saying to Leo Rush, he was saying, and Leo Rush, I don't know why you're here, because this has nothing to do with you. Leo Rush said, excuse me, Taz? Everything that has to do with Dante Martin has to do with me as well. And we don't want no part of Team Taz. Well, Dante Martin took the pin because Leo Rush took the pin out of Dante Martin's hand. Well, Dante Martin got the pin and signed the contract, and Leo Rush was saying, Dante, what are you doing? Well, after Dante Martin signed the contract, Taz took the contract and said, it's a done deal, brother. And so Hook offered Dante Martin his potato chips, and Dante Martin took some of Hook's potato chips, and so Dante Martin left along with Team Taz, and while Leo Rush was looking on, shocked and everything, and Tony Schiavone explained to Leo Rush, he was saying, so Tony Schiavone was saying to Leo Rush, that's very shocking that this happened, and everything, while Leo Rush was floored and everything. That was cool. Alex Marvez interviewed Chris Jericho, and Alex Marvez was asking Chris Jericho, Le Champion, Chris Jericho, you've had quite the year in 2021 in AEW. What's next for you? Well, Chris Jericho was getting ready to talk, but 2.0, which are Matt Lee and Jeff Parker, and, well, Daniel Garcia and 2.0, which are Matt Lee and Jeff Parker, interrupted Chris Jericho and everything, and then Chris Jericho was making fun of Matt Lee, talking about how he had a big square head and looked like SpongeBob SquarePants and everything, and then Chris Jericho was talking to all three members, both members of 2.0, which are Matt Lee and Jeff Parker, and along with Daniel Garcia, and was saying that if any of you three interrupt me again, Chris Jericho was saying to 2.0, which are Matt Lee and Jeff Parker, and along with Daniel Garcia, Chris Jericho was saying, you all sprayed coffee in the face of Eddie Kingston and ran like a bunch of jackasses. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, if any of you three interrupt me again, I'm not going to pour coffee in your face. I'm going to knock your teeth right down your throat. And Matt Lee was trying to suck up to Chris Jericho, saying he didn't mean to interrupt him, with all due respect and everything. And then Jeff Parker was going off and telling Chris Jericho to watch his mouth and everything. And then 2.0 and Daniel Garcia left. And then Chris Jericho was saying, where were we, Alex? Oh, that's right. Happy Thanksgiving, Alex. Chris Jericho was saying, where were we, Alex? Oh, wait. Happy Thanksgiving and everything. That was cool. Britt Baker had a Friendsgiving dinner with Rebel and Tony Schiavone, and Britt Baker was talking about how she was thankful to be AEW Women's Champion and thankful for the meal, even though Tony Schiavone gets a fat-free pie and Rebel don't need to eat that roll, so Britt Baker threw the roll off Rebel's plate and everything, and Britt Baker was saying how thankful she was that she's not going to be the only woman the other women in AEW are going to be after, because of the TBS women's title coming along and everything, and talking about how and Tony, and everything, and Tony Schiavone, Tony Schiavone was saying how thankful he is for Britt Baker and Rebel and everything, and then Tony Schiavone was also telling Britt Baker, but not only that, I have some bad news for you. Britt Baker said, "No, Tony, I don't want to hear no bad news." Tony Schiavone said, "Well, Britt, it's part of my job. That's my job. I have to deliver the news." Because Tony Khan just said, I just got word from Tony Khan that on on the Black Friday edition of AEW Rampage, you will be facing Riho in a Black Friday deal match. And the stipulation is, if Riho wins, she will get a shot against you for the AEW Women's title. Because it's going to be you versus Rebel. It's going to be you versus Riho on AEW Rampage Black Friday edition in a Black Friday deal match. And if Riho wins, she gets a shot at you for the AEW Women's title. Well, Britt Baker was saying, there is no Black Friday deal. Yeah, there is a Black Friday deal, but not here in AEW. If Riho wants a Black Friday deal, she can run around the mall. Because I'm not doing this, Tony. And then Britt Baker was going off on Tony Schiavone, saying, was saying, you ruined Halloween, now you ruined Thanksgiving. Thanks a lot, Tony. Now, since you ruined Halloween and Thanksgiving, you're not invited to my Christmas party. So, and no, we're not going to do DMD because you ruined it and everything. That was cool. AEW announced that there's going to be a special event on January 8th called Battle of the Belts. And it'll take place at the Bojangles Coliseum in Charlotte, North Carolina. So, that night, Hangman Page will defend the AEW title. Britt Baker wait a minute. AEW announced that there will be a special event on January 8th, 2022, called Battle of the Belts. It'll take place at the Bojangles Coliseum in Charlotte, North Carolina. And for that event, Hangman Page will defend the AEW title. Britt Baker will defend the AEW Women's title. The Lucha Brothers, which are Rey Fenix and Penta El Zero Miedo, will defend the AEW Tag Team titles. And Sammy Guevara will be defending the AEW TNT title. Can't wait for that. That's cool. And AEW aired a video package of the build-up of the match between Ruby Soho versus Chris Statlander, a part of the a part of the TBS Women's title tournament and everything. That was cool. Now, besides all that, Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, and Excalibur done commentary throughout the whole show. They done awesome as usual. And wait a minute. But besides the matches, the promos, and the segments, Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, and Excalibur done commentary throughout the whole show. They done awesome as usual. The referees for the event were Rick Knox, Paul Turner, Bryce Remsburg, and Aubrey Edwards. Okay. Paul Turner refereed the match between CM Punk versus QT Marshall. Aubrey Edwards refereed the match between the Gun Club versus Bear Country. Rick Knox refereed the match between Thunder Rosa versus Jamie Hayter. Bryce Remsburg refereed the match between Bryan Danielson versus Colt Cabana. And Aubrey Edwards refereed the match between Andrade El Idolo, Malachi Black, and FTR versus Cody Rhodes and the Death Triangle. All the referees done awesome as usual. Now, the match card that's been announced so far for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite on Wednesday night, it's going to be Ruby Soho versus Chris Statlander. But it was announced that Tony Khan will announce the rest of the match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite on All Elite Wrestling's AEW Rampage Black Friday edition tomorrow night. And now the match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Rampage Black Friday edition, it's going to be Adam Cole and Bobby Fish versus the Best Friends, which are Orange Cassidy and Wheeler Yuta. Eddie Kingston versus Daniel Garcia. And Britt Baker versus Riho in a Black Friday deal match. And the stipulation is, if Riho wins, she'll get a shot at Britt Baker for the AEW Women's title sometime down the road. So the match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Rampage Black Friday edition looks like it's going to be awesome. Can't wait to see it. Same with next week's All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite. I'm looking forward to that and can't wait to see it as well. But anyway, I just wanted to come on here for a while and give my review for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite Thanksgiving edition from last night, which was November 24th, 2021. Like I said, it was awesome from start to finish. And with that being said, my name is Austin Honecker, and I will catch your ass down the road. Peace out.